we're gonna have to build. But that's okay. They called me Bob the Builder. That would be my graffiti.
They call me Bob the Builder.
They call me Bob the Builder.
What would your tag be, though? You gotta have a signature.
Bob the Builder. She's bussin'.
She's bussin'. Good.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Makeup Mystery. I'm here with my friend Anna.
Hey.
And we are doing Pompeii. I'm really excited because Pompeii has a lot of interesting things going on here, okay? It's gonna be lit. I'm gonna find a way to keep that in. Anna, how much do you know about Pompeii?
I think I know a decent amount, but I'm sure with your questions, I'm not gonna know the answers.
I need more confidence.
Okay, I can do it.
I believe in you. I think you can do it.
I
think it's gonna be good. Let me explain how this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do Anna's makeup and tell her the story of Pompeii and what happened in Pompeii. I don't wanna spoil it yet, but it's a lot of fire, all right? Throughout telling her this story, I'm going to be doing her makeup and asking her questions. If she gets the question right, we'll be using recognizable brands, high-end brands of makeup to accomplish whatever look I feel like doing today. If she gets the answer wrong, however, we will be using less recognizable brands from places like Five Below, Claire's, maybe even Dollar Tree. So hopefully we can work together and we're gonna make a good look regardless.
Yeah, we're gonna look good either way.
And hopefully we stay on the high-end side of things. Fingers crossed. Anything that I don't explicitly say in the video will be listed down below in the description. Feel free to check it out. I also put my research down there, so if you wanna know more about Pompeii, check it out. It's a good time. By the 1st century, Pompeii was a pretty big resort town in Rome. It was basically like an elitist playground. They had houses and shops and all sorts of things that you would see in a regular city, but they also had like a bunch of brothels and bathhouses and some of the other risque things. I mean, it was ancient Rome, so are we gonna act surprised here? Pompeii was located 5 miles from Mount Vesuvius. It was on the southwest coast of Italy, so like if we're looking at the boot, like the Italy boot, it is like the front ankle part of the boot. I don't know if that makes sense for everyone, but that makes sense for me.
No, I got you.
Yeah. The boot part, the ankle boot part, you know? Yeah. Okay. So one of my personal favorite things to study about Pompeii is all of the graffiti that was there, because ancient Romans were reckless. Graffiti in ancient Rome, it had all sorts of things. There were advertisements, love letters, professions of love. There were insults. Those were some of my favorites. There were all sorts of things. Think about like what you would see on like Reddit, but like make it graffiti in Rome. There's actually a website called ancientgraffiti.org that you can visit to check out like some of the things that archaeologists and conservationists, yeah, that sounds right.
Sure.
That sounds about right. They've compiled their findings all in this website and you can check it out. That's where I got a lot of this information from, but I also just like to look at it every once in a while because it's fun. Can you look at me real quick? Cool. Oh, I forgot. You are Miss Hooded Eyes.
Yes, I am.
That's okay. I'm the same way, girl. We're gonna make it work. Do you want to hear about some of my favorite graffiti I found?
Of course. Okay,
so there was one that was an advertisement and it said, 20 pairs of gladiators will fight on April 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and the wild animal hunt will be offered afterwards. And then they said that whoever wins will be employed, which I think is fun. Like think about a job interview where you have to fight for 4 days straight. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, you get a job now. Like LinkedIn would be a whole different world. Truly. Every time you had to do that, like, how badly do you want this office job, Janet?
Yeah.
Get out there, get in the ring. My second favorite, oh, this one is fun. This was found outside of a brothel and it said, weep, you girls. My penis has given you up. It now penetrates men's behinds. Goodbye, wondrous femininity. Which, like, not a bad coming out story.
Yeah, we love a good honest man.
Yeah. And he let the world know.
Yeah.
So we can't be surprised.
He didn't ghost his brothel women.
Yeah, he didn't ghost. He was nice.
Yeah.
It was like, good for him. There was another one that says, I don't want to sell my husband, not for all the gold in the world. That's so cute. There's one that said, Epaphra, you are bald, followed by Epaphra is not good at ball games. So Epaphra really pissed someone off. We
roasted him.
Yes, and now here we are in 2021 still talking about it. Epaphra, you bald-headed bitch. I see you.
You suck.
And on April 19th, I made bread. This was found in the barracks of like gladiator barracks. Okay. And some people think it was a euphemism, but like not everyone knows what for yet. Okay. So I am going to assume it's just bread. I hope he made some really good ciabatta. You know, that was all of us in quarantine though. Like everybody was making bread. So maybe they were just like, I really like bread. Question for you. Okay. You're in Rome. Okay. What would you write to be your graffiti, to be preserved for generations and generations?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I would insult somebody.
Ooh.
But I don't know who I would insult.
Epaphra?
Let's add on to Epaphra. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So he's bad at, he's bald.
He's bald.
He's bad at sports.
Yeah.
That says so much already.
He strikes me as the type that would drive a Prius.
There we go. Your chariot sucks.
Your chariot sucks. Yeah, Epaphra. Come out.
Get a better horse.
I think I feel like I would just like write out lyrics to something, but something completely irrelevant. Okay. Like write out the lyrics to Holla Back Girl.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
We are going to move on to talking about Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius was part of the Carpathian. I might have messed that up. Come for me in the comments. I don't care. It was part of the Carpathian volcanic arc. The town of Pompeii was about 5 miles from Mount Vesuvius. And there was a time where Mount Vesuvius erupted in 1780 BC, and the volcano destroyed like everything in the vicinity, basically. So it was already known for being like very, very dangerous. There was also another time in 63 AD where an earthquake happened, and then later it erupted. So people knew that like it was bad and you should probably not be around there. It is what it is. I guess when you're like used to seeing a volcano every day, like
fair enough.
Here we are going to arrive at our first question. This question will determine whether or not we use our recognizable brands or our less recognizable brands. So I'm going to tell you what the options are. If we use the recognizable brands, and you get this question right, we will be using the Naked Honey palette from Urban Decay, the Jaclyn Hill 2 palette from Morphe, and the Nikita Dragun palette from Morphe. I'm really excited about this one because this came out in November of last year, and it has some of the prettiest colors. However, if you get everything wrong, we will be using today this Claire's glitter. I think the brand is W7. I have never seen this before.
Sure.
Life's a Peach palette. This was from Five Below, and it was $5. And finally, we will use the Be Kind / Beautiful. I don't think this one has a name, but it's fun.
This one looks promising. It's like a snow globe.
It's like a snow globe. This is from Claire's, and it's a full palette. Like, it's a book, okay? This feels like one of, like, a K-pop album.
I think.
No pressure at all. None at all. All right. What was the last time that Mount Vesuvius erupted? A, 1944, B, 1900, C, 1982, or D, 1873?
1982.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, that is my final answer.
Unfortunately, it was A, 1944, meaning today we will be using both Claire's and Five Below.
But we do love glitter.
We do love glitter. Mount Vesuvius last erupted in 1944. However, experts say that it could erupt any day. And since 3 million people live in the vicinity of the volcano, it would be catastrophic at this point. We're gonna move on to what everybody's waiting for, the eruption. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted again. It was only 16 years after the last earthquake, which served as a warning, but there were still a lot of people that lived in the vicinity of Mount Vesuvius. This eruption was even more catastrophic, so that's why it went down in history forever. Somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 people lived within the vicinity of the volcano. And a lot of people don't know this, but Pompeii wasn't the only thing that was destroyed in the eruption. There was actually 2 other nearby towns that were completely decimated when the volcano erupted. The eruption happened either in August or October. A lot of people say August. However, later on, archaeologists found a lot of bodies wearing heavier clothing. So they don't think that it was necessarily August because like it's hot in August and you wouldn't be wearing long sleeves or like having your clothing like that. The volcano erupted and sent insane amounts of debris and ash and smoke and disgustingness into the air. Luckily, a lot of people had enough time to escape, which is good, but they had to leave like everything they owned behind. It was so intense, in fact, there was the famous philosopher Pliny, I think his name is Pliny the Younger, who was watching it, and he said that he believed that he was perishing with the world. So he thought he was like about to die. And he was on the other side of the bay when this was happening, so he wasn't really in the vicinity of it. He was just kind of watching it unfold. But even being on the other side, he was like, I'm going to die. Like, this is the end of the world. This is terrifying. So I know it's hard for us to conceptualize really, but like, it was intense. The eruption continued until the next day and it lasted for about 18 hours. A lot of people said that following the eruption, like in the next week or so, there was just a blanket of ash and debris and pumice, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's volcanic glass, basically, like when all the lava finally cools down. And that was everywhere. It covered the entire city. And a few people tried to come back and see if they could find loved ones or find their belongings. It was impossible. You really could not enter the city. And the city stayed like that for centuries.
These super high quality brushes that keep this palette. I'm telling you, this is the secret.
Do you want me to use it?
That is on you.
We'll be using some of the brushes that came with the Claire's palette. This is cute. This really reminds me of like middle school.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm getting some really nostalgic vibes. I can smell it from here.
Yeah.
That like sweet Play-Doh smell.
Yes, that's what it is. In 1728, archaeologists started excavating the city, and this excavation process started to uncover what daily life in Pompeii was like. They found a little over 2,000 bodies in the excavation sites, but it's estimated that about like 16,000 people total died. So, you know, through the years, people were able to get through, bury their loved ones and whatnot. But the bodies that they did find, it's pretty interesting. There was one where a guy was hit by a boulder, and he's known, like his actual archaeological, that sounds about right, his actual name is known as the Unlucky Man, because it's like, that is pretty unlucky.
It is, but what a bummer.
What a bummer. There is another website called PompeiiSites.org that you can go to see the photos of all the artifacts that they found. Obviously, they found a lot of the bodies and it's super fascinating. I'm not going to put that in the video because that's a little much, but again, it's easy to find if you go to that website. I'm also going to talk about some of the other artifacts that they found, but I cannot put those in the video because they are copyrighted. So again, do some research, look it up. It's really fascinating to see what they found in Pompeii. I just can't link it in the video. In February 2021, so literally like a couple months ago, they found a full ceremonial chariot. It had iron wheels, and they even found remains of the horse still attached to the chariot. So that's how quickly they had to leave. But a lot of people are equating this to like the Lamborghini of chariots in Pompeii, which is kind of intense, you know? They found gladiator gear, they found jewelry, they found all sorts of things. They found a statue of Apollo, and they also found a lot of erotic art, which I'm glad is now in my search history. We have arrived at our last question. This is going to determine whether or not we use these Morphe lashes. These are the DTLA one. I think downtown LA, is that what it's supposed to say? I don't know. But they're super fun, double layered, Morphe, we love to see it. Or if we'll use these LA Colors Dramatilash from, I think this was Dollar Tree. It was either Dollar Tree or Dollar General. A little bit bolder, but like not in a good way. Let's see which one of these lashes you're gonna be wearing. What year did the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization designate Pompeii and the surrounding areas as a historical site, an official historical site? A, 1988, B, 1980, C, 1997, or D, 1990?
1980.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you sure?
What did I say, 1980?
Yeah.
Let's go 88.
88?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Both are wrong.
Okay.
In 1997, the UNESCO designated Pompeii as a historical site, and conservation efforts ramped up even more during this time, which means we're gonna have to put the Morphe lashes away. You know what? If you were to be in a volcanic eruption with this look, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
I mean, I look better than a Pafra.
Even after this designation though, the conservation efforts in Pompeii, it saw some shit over the years. In World War II, the site was significantly damaged. And even before that, light exposure, wind exposure, water damage, and poor excavation practices all took a big hit on Pompeii and the surrounding areas. On November 6, 2010, the House of the Gladiators actually collapsed. The House of the Gladiators was a 2,000-year-old structure, and it was rebuilt after World War II, and it was not at risk to collapse. Like, a lot of people didn't think it was going to collapse, and luckily there was no one inside, but it was determined that water damage from the heavy rainfall that occurred in the weeks before the collapse and poor excavation practices was the reason why it collapsed. So after that, a lot of people were really watching Pompeii and all the conservation efforts because it didn't look like it was working, honestly. In her corner is doing the thing again. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. Complete
It's
soul.
part of it. Yeah, there we go.
Since this collapse happened in 2010, the conservation site has been under close watch, but unfortunately it continues to struggle a lot in both funding and conservation. So if you are feeling generous, maybe donate because they've been struggling in recent years. You know what? This is a look. This is giving me like Barbie baddie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it. That's gonna be my tag for my ancient graffiti.
For your Barbie baddie.
Yeah,
We love to see it. That is it for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Makeup Mystery. Please like and subscribe. We got some more content coming your way. I'm super excited about this look and how it turned out. Honestly, I don't think it's awful. And I'm glad we worked together to make this look happen.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe, you know? Like I said before, if you want to know what makeup I was using, look down in the description below. If you want to follow up on more research, feel free to look down below. I'll also tag the 2 websites that I mentioned in the video so you can go look at all the artifacts or the graffiti yourself. It's a really good time. I recommend it. If you have some time to kill, do it. It's really fun. But that is it for today. Thank you, Anna, for stopping by.
You're welcome.
And remember, y'all, don't make up your history.